Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and jelly babies. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XII. Morris here, once again. And you are here also, so thank you very much for joining me. At the end of the last part, we had finally rescued... Oh, well, not quite rescued, but we've made the vital first step in rescuing Princess Ashe. So now we gotta complete the rest of it and get off this ship. And I made a few changes between the end of the last part and this one. So I'll just very quickly go through what we're looking at here. Got Vaughn the Assassin's Dagger, which is a little more powerful than his last one. Finally, upgrading his attack power. And it also has the added effect of sometimes just instantly KOing an enemy, which is always handy. No change to Balthier, no change to Fran. I've given Bosch Ashe's shield that she had at the when she first joined, not a few minutes ago. So his evade has gone up slightly, and I've made Ashe into a katana wielder. And, you know, I think just the idea of a princess who can wield a katana turns me on slightly, so I think maybe that's my main reason for doing that. But also we picked up one of the katanas, and it increases the stats a little bit, so, you know, there's no downside to doing that, I don't think. And we're getting to the stage where we're about to have our full party. Vossler is... Well, hey, you know what? The only person who needs to worry about Vossler is Vossler, okay? I don't want to get involved in that. So those guys are fine. I splurged a bit on spells and got techniques and everything. Spells, I'm a little bit more liberal in my spending when it comes to spells, because I feel like... Or you can kind of get away with maybe not having every weapon, but not having every spell. It's nice to know you've covered yourself by buying those early on. So, and we got the money, which helps.
Majesty, we will cut you a path.
I will not place my trust in the sword of a traitor.
Yet trust his sword we must, traitor or no. I see no other way. We track back, commandeer a ship and make our escape. Her Majesty cannot abide weakness, least of all in herself. We must make her confront the reality of our plight.
Bit of tension already brewing in the party. So the alarms are just going off right now, so we're not going to be taking the long way back. We're going to be taking the short way. Really no point in fighting anybody at this point, because they will just keep spawning and spawning and spawning. So I'm not interested in that. I'm just going to go. And I've kept Bosch as the party leader. He can sort of weather the storm a little bit easier than other characters. But yeah, you can already see with the red dots on the minimap in the top right there what it's like fleeing through this kind of area. It's really not worth stopping and fighting. And hopefully if we time this right, we can just zip through the door real easy. There we go. No problem. And we are just going to keep moving. One other tip for when you're actually doing this, and there aren't really many areas in the game where this is necessary, but if you are going to do it, you can go into the menu and turn the battle speed down all the way down to its lowest. So that if an enemy is kind of maybe close to hitting you, it'll take a bit longer for them to charge up whichever attack they got brewing, and sometimes that can be the difference between being hit and being safe. But like I say, those instant attacks, still can't dodge them.
Vaughn.
It's okay. We're okay.
Ghis knows you've escaped. You must hurry. You are Captain Azalus. You will follow me. We must reach the airships before they do.
You would let us leave knowing who we are.
Lady Ashe, by all rights you ought not even to exist. That you and Captain Ronsenberg were made to appear dead is like a hidden thread laid bare. Your actions hereafter will pull at that thread, and we will see what it unravels. This is our chance. We must see this through and get to the bottom of it. I believe 'tis for the good of Dalmasca and the good of the Empire.
Very well then.
Thanks, Lamont.
I must apologize. Penelo, for you. May it bring you good fortune.
Thanks.
Let us go.
Vossler leaves the party, Penelo joins the party. I gotta say, it's not my favorite message in the whole game, but yeah, now we have our 6. So this is the party that we will be dealing with for the rest of the game. And I got a little bit of something to say about that, but we'll not worry about that now because the alarm still is going off. But what I'm gonna do is just make sure that Penelo has everything she needs. I mean, I guess I could buy some of this stuff, but it's not really worth it at this point. Yeah, we'll leave it for now. Alright, let's roll. We got a little bit of a respite. I think once we get to the door, people stop spawning in so we can heal up. Which, as you might have guessed, is particularly important for this section. I could really just use a potion there. Alright, let's make sure everybody is equipped adequately. Oh god, Penelo is going to be pretty useless in this fight. The thing about your white mage is, I mean, Penelo is going to kind of run the show most of the time in the game these days. It used to be I'd never use Penelo, but now that she actually has a job, it's changed up a little bit. If anything, she's the glue that holds the entire party together most of the time. Anyway, I think I'm going to stick with these 3 at the moment. We can have Fran on healing duty for the time being. And hopefully Bosch will be enough to get, like I say, weather the storm.
Such a great shame. I must confess, I thought you the one who would help us restore peace to Dalmasca. No matter, we hold the proof of your royal lineage. A maid of passing resemblance will serve our purposes now. As for you, my dear, the Empire requires you no more!
What was that?
The Nethicite.
Your Majesty does not disappoint. Ever quick to spurn an honorable surrender, as was your father.
You know nothing of my father!
Boss fight. And these pesky judges, they always call in their little ads here. So we gotta take care of those guys first. And Ghis really wants to kill Balthier. He's a bit of a shame. Let's get everybody healing up, shall we? As long as everybody's going after Bosch, it's not a problem. This boss fight can really go one of 2 ways. I mean, you can get kind of fortunate with the way that the enemies decide to attack. But Ghis is kind of pesky. But hell, once he starts focusing on me, we should be good. The judge enemies all follow a similar kind of pattern. They're all heavy hitters. It's mostly physical damage, not a lot else going on. And they all kind of attack really quick, and they all seem to have the kind of high block and evade stats. So yeah, this is why I want to keep Bosch, Fran, and Balthier for this fight is because Ghis has an aero attack, which is an AoE attack, but with 2 long-range characters, I'm kind of minimizing the amount of damage that's doing. Although that one did catch Balthier there, but still. Most of the time, ideally, they'll remain safely out of the way. The AI kind of, with the long-range characters, the AI kind of backs off to its maximum range. So that's what we want to be sticking to, hopefully. Oh god. I better use a potion on Bosch as well. You might argue it's easier to just use gambits to kind of apply potions, but I tend to want to take care of it myself. Purely because sometimes you can kind of lose track of it, so. Alright, there we go. Unlucky Balthier, you can't claim credit for that fight, unfortunately.
We've secured an Atomos. Come.
An Atomos? All skiff, no ship. Hardly fit for a leading man. So I can fly it then?
You mad? Can't we go faster? Not yet. They passed. We've gone too fast. They'd have noticed.
Balthier, your handkerchief. I thought you might want it back.
I shall wear it close to my heart.
Perhaps you forget all that Ondor has wrought.
I do not forget, Majesty. It was by his counsel, dangerous though it may have been, that we were able to free you. You must meet with him, Your Highness, and give ear to his words. He may act in league with the Empire, but his heart is not.
It is as he says. I ought not have kept Ondor at so great a distance for so long a time. I have played the fool.
You were only being cautious.
Majesty, I would ask you for some time. On our own, we struggle in vain to restore Dalmasca. I must search out some other way. Until I should find it, I would have Bosch remain at your side. Doubt him you may. But I measure his loyalty to Dalmasca no less than my own.
I know you would not speak so lightly. Very well.
Keep her well. Go to Ondor and there await my return.
Alright, back in the safety of Bajova. It's amazing how we made it out of there. You would think that that alarm that was going off on the Leviathan would kind of alert the other ships as well, but I guess not. I guess Ghis isn't that worried. Anyway, so yeah, now we got our 6 party members. And you know what? I like the party, I gotta say. I like each character, but at the same time, it's kind of... I mean, 5 of them are humans, and this is set in a world with, you know, all kinds of different races, and, you know, they all have their... I mean, look at this guy! Why don't we bring this guy? You know? I'll be honest, I don't remember the names of all the races, but the point is, it would have been nice to have a little bit more kind of, I don't know, a bit more variety, I guess. Like Fran is the most interesting just because, you know, she's a Vieira. It's a little bit more exotic. And then the 5 of them, I mean, they're all white. Most of them have blonde hair. That kind of, you know, it's just, I know, they're all a little bit samey, I guess. But hey, I suppose it's not a massive issue. They all have, you know, significance and relevance to the plot in general, I suppose, so that's fine. But that's the only comment I would really pass on the party as a whole. Anyway, we have no reason to stick around in Bajoba, really. So, we'll head straight for Ondor. And now that we do have all 6, you know, nobody else... We'll still get guest characters, but nobody else will leave at this point. None of the main party will leave. So you'll start to see a bit more about how the classes start to work together. And what I kind of have in mind for all of them. I mean, bear in mind, what I'm doing again, it might not be optimal, but the fact that I'm doing it means I've already done it, means it works. So it might not be perfect, but it certainly ain't wrong.
When Vossler learned my father had been killed the night of the treaty signing, he returned to Ravenaster, there to aid my escape. There was still time before Vane's reach extended too far. We thought that you could protect me.
However, when I then made the announcement that you had taken your own life, I must have seemed a model citizen of the Empire. The announcement, you see, was Vane's suggestion. Of course, at the time I was reluctant, but I could not perceive his reasons. Now it is clear he meant to drive a wedge between us.
Halim, we are past all this. Boucherba must stand with us. We can stop Vane.
I once knew a girl whose only wish was to be carried in her uncle's arms. Your Majesty is a woman grown now.
Then Boucherba will aid me.
Suppose for a moment you were to defeat Vane. What then? You cannot simply rebuild your kingdom with the only proof of your birthright stolen. Without that, the Grand Kiltias and Boomises cannot and will not recognize your Majesty as the rightful heir. You may yet be a princess, but without proof of your identity, you are powerless. You will remain with me. We do nothing till the time is right.
I cannot just wait.
Then what does your Majesty propose we do?
Uncle Halim.
Incidentally, what is the going rate for rescuing princesses these days? Food would be a start. The good stuff, mind you.
This can be arranged, though it will take some time.
Time enough for a bath, I hope. Dirty business, you know. Ah, best bring a change of clothes, too.
What are you doing? This is Balthier's ship.
I'm going to retrieve the Dawn Shard. It's the proof that I need. I know where it's hidden. I'll return his airship later.
Are you crazy?
This is something that I have to do. Not only for myself, but for all those who have fallen. I will not be made to hide. I'll fight alone if I must.
You still have Bosch, right? Besides, you can't just go around stealing people's ships. What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to concentrate.
That's quite enough, Your Majesty. What do you think? A bit over the top?
In my line of work, you never know when something like this might come in handy. I'm trying to concentrate. I'm leaving you with the Marquis.
You can't!
Trust me, you're better off staying here.
Suppose you kidnapped me instead. You're a sky pirate, aren't you? Then steal me. Is that so much to ask?
What do you have that I would want?
The Dynast King's treasure. The Dawn Shard is but one of the riches that lie waiting in King Wraithwall's tomb.
King Wraithwall, you say?
Kidnapping royalty is a serious offense. It won't do much to lower the bounty on your head.
How much is the price on your head these days, I wonder?
Allow me to escort you in Vossler's place.
Will you be joining us?
What? Are you kidding? I don't want to stick around this place.
Then I'm coming too.
Canelo.
Don't leave me here.
Of course not.
Then it's settled. We should leave before the Marquis realizes she's missing, like proper kidnappers.
Dr. Sid, does this set Draclaw?
I have confirmed he receives funds from Lord Vane. His agency in the fall of Nabudis is also certain. Yet, with Judge Zecht, who led the assault, missing, the truth remains difficult to ascertain.
The long, cold years have clouded my eyes. I cannot see my own son's heart.
My lord.
This illness will claim me. So then, who is to be my successor? The Senate fears the capable Peregrine Vane. They prefer a young fledgling emperor. Gabranth, once in the past I laid siege to your homeland.
The Republic of Landis is long since gone. My allegiance lies wholly with the Empire.
Perhaps. But what of your brother? He did not accept us as you did. He fled to Dalmasca. Did you never think to follow him?
I follow his every move. He is an enemy of the Empire. He will be cut down.
So you would kill even your own brother for the Empire. Be that as it may, Gabranth, your ruthlessness is not without merit. But it must not become this way with Larsa. You must ensure that it does not.
So then you ask me to be his sword, to strike where he might not.
Rather be his shield. Gabranth, keep your close watch on Vane. His is the keenest blade of all.
My lord.
Do this for me, Gabranth. I could not bear to see my sons war with each other again.
this come in handy often?
It's tough being popular. Wouldn't want any admirers dropping in while we're away. Well now, that's as far as she goes. We'll be in yacht from here onwards.
Across the Sand Sea, to the Valley of the Dead, and to King Wraithwall's tomb below.
So when you're in yacht, skystones don't work at all. That's why we gotta hoof it the rest of the way, you see?
Happy you get to teach me something for a change?
Well, if you want to be a sky pirate, you gotta know your... Hey, what do you mean for a change?
Come on,
At least we thought to bring entertainment.
Oh yeah? Says who? You want to see what they think about it?
I wouldn't be so confident.
I really like those scenes, especially that little bit at the end there. Again, just the Vaughn and Penelo, they kind of serve as a little bit of a reminder to a lot of these other characters, like, what are we fighting for again? You know? And it's obviously, it's the next generation, that type of thing. Just don't fuck it up, Vaughn, that's all I'm saying. Alright, so we got a bit of questing to do. So let's get out there, no time like the present. There is a cheeky merchant over here. We're just going to double check what he's selling. Probably not a whole lot for me. All that stuff looks lovely, it really does, but it also looks expensive as hell. In fact, everything looks expensive as hell. I really got to upgrade my defense at some stage. And these also look pretty sexy, and it is nice to have one of everything. Need to get me some money. Oh, Cura. Gimme. Alright, that'll do. That'll do. Alright, let's head out. So, who do we want in the party? Seeing as 12 seems to be the highest level, and I like to keep everybody around about the same, I think keep it as this for now. What do we want to do? Eventually you get to a point on the license boards where you can choose a second job for each character, and that's pretty much what we want to be heading towards at this point. The sooner we get a second license board for each one, the better, because I want Penelo to be a just as much of a heavy hitter as anybody else, and the sooner that happens, the sooner Penelo can be like a major part of the party. And I should probably set up gambits for these people as well.
So, where exactly is Wraithwall's tomb?
Far to the west. We must first cross the Ogir Yensa, and beyond that, the Nam Yensa, before we reach the tomb. An expanse of desert larger still than all of Dalmasca. We must pace ourselves. If you grow tired, we stop and take rest.
You don't have to worry about me. I'm tougher than I look.
You are at that.
But are you as tough as me, the Honorable Knight, Bosch? I think not. So yeah, this is quite a, you know, Bosch is not lying when he says this. This is quite an expanse, which is larger than anything we'll have faced so far. This is a bit of an indication of things to come. I really like this whole area, to be honest. It's a real kind of, it shows off the scale of this game a little bit more than the areas we've been in so far. Might want to set up Penello's gambits, actually. In fact, we might want to get a third one for her. Just to be nice. And I guess we'll start on the white magic as well. Because it's all good stuff. And the great thing is, other characters that haven't joined still get the same amount of license points that we've kind of gathered up to this point, which is why Penello has loads, despite the fact that she hasn't actually done anything. So that's good news. And look at all that white magic we already have. And I guess we want channeling. I'm sorry guys, I don't want to spend too long on the license board. This is just, whenever you get a character at the start, it's always going to take a little bit longer. Just to get them kind of up to where you want them to be. And I do have one of the rod items as well. So I guess that's good news. Because at the moment all she has is a little crappy dagger, but the rod might make a little bit of a difference. For now anyway. And I think everybody else is pretty good. I do have I picked up an item not so long ago called a Firefly, which I think is new to this. I don't seem to remember this in the original. Reduces XP earned to 0. I don't know why you'd ever really want to equip that. I don't know what situation you'd have to be in where you don't want anyone to get XP. Unless you've just got one character or maybe a couple of characters who are way ahead of everyone else. I guess it's to kind of stop them leveling but get everyone else up to speed, maybe. I don't know, that's the only thing I can really think of. Anyway, we'll also get the Cure Gambit going on as well, I think. Maybe whack that down to 60. And Bosch is fine, Balthier is fine. That's fine, that's fine. Take that off. Don't want to be throwing potions away. Alright, that's all good. And fortunately, somebody thought to put these here, which is great. A map of the Sand Sea. And a map of the other Sand Sea. I don't remember those being there either, originally. I'm going to say that a lot in this game. But hey, now you can kind of see, we can get a little bit of an indication of how large this area actually is. It goes on and on and on, and there are multiple ways in and out of it. And there are a few things that we want to pick up in this area as well. Do a little bit of exploring. I can't say for certain what's going to be in every chest, unfortunately, or whether the chest will even appear. But, you know, it's worth it. Like I say, the fact that they've rejigged the whole chest system, it makes it worth exploring these areas, rather than what I would normally do, which is just book it from one end to the other without really exploring at all. Wow, Bosch, you're really putting the shield to good work. Now, unfortunately, you're seeing here a situation which you run into quite a lot in this game, where because enemies prioritize the healer, and because the healer is always taking damage, you'll end up being in situations where you'll just be fighting an enemy which is attacking the healer is healing themselves, and therefore drawing more aggro onto themselves, and it looks a little goofy. Nonetheless, they're all dead, so that's good. It's not going to be as much of a problem later on, but early on, it's a little bit frustrating. And I think also what I want to do is set up another gambit for Bosch here. don't know if he can already do it, actually. Does he know Libra? So I like to have somebody, always somebody in the party at any one time who knows Libra. Again, early on, not that much of a problem. Later on, traps and the like can just instantly kill everybody, so... Excellent! I'm obtaining many succulent fruits. That is good news. And also this whole cure business is going to get a little bit more tolerable once we can get a few licenses which increase a character's magic potency. And obviously equipping them with a certain type of weapon as well also increases their magic power. So we won't need to cure as much.
A construct to draw oil from the ground. Abandoned many years now, it seems.
Did Dalmaskans build this?
No, the Rosarians. Their empire lies far to the west, ever at war with Arcadia. Heedless of the kingdoms caught in their midst. Dalmasca, Nabrodia, Landis.
'Tis the small craft's fate to watch the list of the galleons and pray for light winds.
Vossler, why are you here?
Imagine my surprise when upon my return to Beaugerbe, I find both you and the Lady Ash have vanished. I thought you above consorting with sky pirates.
Balthier is a man worthy of our trust, and it was the Lady Ash's decision. I am content to lend my arm. As I could not when Rassler died, when her throne was taken. Never again. I will defend her this time.
You walked the Knight's path. The Lady Ash?
We should leave this place.
Let me guess. Sandstorm?
Something far worse.
I see. So the Dawn Shard does lie in King Wraithwall's tomb. The Marquis sympathizes with your plight, yet the Empire perches as a carrion bird on his shoulder. He can keep whispers of your abduction silent for only so long.
Yes. Tell me, Vossler, what have you accomplished?
We leave at once. This is Urutan Yensa territory, and they are unfond of visitors. Looks like we've attracted the wrong sort of attention. Let's quit this place while we still can. Move!
Vossler! Have you found the means to restore Dalmasca?
First, we must claim the Dawn Shard. It all begins with that.
Vossler rejoins the party as a guest. Once again, excellent news, and will lighten the load on the party a lot in this next area. So yeah, those guys are, for lack of a better term, sand people. And they'll be back in far greater numbers. So, I'm going to pause it for now, guys, but thank you very much for watching this episode of Final Fantasy XII, and I do hope to see you all in the next episode. I'll see you in a bit. Take care. See you later.